Hey, welcome everybody to another episode of Unfilter Garage. This is season 2, episode 3, and we're going to be talking about something, um, not the normal. We're going to be talking about, our garage and stuff like that, our spaces. But I'm going to tell you where this one is coming from, Abner. I don't know if you remember Eddie and Proby. Shout out to Eddie and Proby,
Yeah,
and they rode with
Buffalo.
us like Buffalo. They rode with us a couple times, man. And I remember um back then I didn't have the pleasure of riding with my wife. She started doing it later. And I remember he would ride with her, but not only he would ride with her. He bought the Cena or some sort of communicators so they
Oh
can
yeah,
talk to each other. And I was like, what the hell is wrong with this dude, bro? Like, I mean, what I love the most about motorcycling is my quiet space, my solitude, my that
gotcha.
space where nobody talks to me, bro. Like, and she could talk, and she was just talking and talking and talking. And I see a guy, I was like, poor guy, man. Why would you do that? I mean, I would lose it. I would just take it off and say, oh man, I don't know what happened. I lost
Yeah,
it.
I lost you. I
Because
lost you. I can't hear you.
yeah, I
Can't
lost
hear
it. I have some interference. I kind of and it this so I encourage you guys, the dudes that are listening to this after this episode ended, send this to your wife because there is a reason. I didn't want. We have had this episode kind of like brewing for a while, but I was doing some research and I really needed to find some biblical backing and some stats, some numbers, some science behind this. Why we like to be on a garage, why we like to be on that
yeah.
setting, right?
The
So
why
that's
behind the
that's
why.
yeah, man. Because um most of people don't know why, but we do enjoy it. Why we when we get older, why we get a project car, why we get a project motorcycle, why we get a project, why we like those projects, why we get, why we get, the guy works in finances, which or with computers, which is my case, and now the guy wants a tool set because he wants to work with his hands, and it's not that. Yeah, there is a little bit of midlife crisis, but the midlife crisis is not that he wants a car or he wants a new motorcycle or anything. It's that he wants solitude. He wants a sanctuary. So we're going to be talking about that, about the garage as sanctuary, because that's what it is for some of us, right? You are in a garage right now, and I
I am.
and for the most part, man, uh, it's funny. I can go visit you, and I don't have to and I had a great time with you, and I did everything that I need and I've been to your house, and I had a good time. And this is we have passing the door from the garage to your living room.
Yeah,
Listen to this. You got it all in there. Like, I don't really
yeah.
need to go. The only reason why I go inside is if your wife is offering us food or if I need to go to the restaurant. That's the only reason why. But think about it. You can live in your garage. You have built what many of us desire and want, which is the man cave, right? So talk to me a little bit about that. About that
Yeah,
intro.
you know what? It's interesting that even Superman had his fortress of solitude, right? He had his special place. If you
Oh,
remember,
it's awesome.
uh, Christopher Reeve back in the day, in his classic Superman. And that's what this is. It's like a little place where I can just have I can have my tools. I'll have, magazines, just whatever I want, whatever I need. I have my tools. I have my bikes, and it's just it's a space where I can have, you know, my friends over. If you guys come over and we're gonna, throw some oil on the floor and we're gonna wrench a little bit, we have a space, right? I also can do leather work when I feel that I want to take on a little project for my leather works. And really, it just gives us, like you said, an opportunity to have my own little space, to be deep in thought if I want to put music on if I want to, just to have that. And it's necessary because when we have families, we have, right, shared areas. And this, I mean, by all means, my wife also has, she shares some space in here because I couldn't kick her out completely. But what we have here is that opportunity to set some distance between us so that she can do what she needs to do inside and I get to do what I need to do outside. And it's kind of like a reset moment for me when I can
It's healthy.
spend
It's
some
healthy. It's
time.
very healthy.
Oh, most definitely.
Listen, man, I cannot tell you how many times I have been super stressed out. I work from home a lot of days, and not every single day, but I work from home some a lot of days. Man, what I miss the most when I'm not working from home, when I'm at the office, is being able to walk into the garage and just sit on my motorcycle. I don't have to do
Yeah.
much. I just sit on my motorcycle. Sometimes I just walk into my garage and I grab a golf club and I just get the garage door open and I just start swinging the club. That just that moment decompresses me so much. Women, we need that. Women, we
Yeah.
need that. So please, let me tell you something, dudes. You please share this with your wife. We need this. And I'm going to give you some backing in here, okay? So this is not gonna be just my opinion. It's not a
we got
selfish
the
thing, bro.
we've got the facts. These are facts.
Wait, yeah. We got the, we spoke about we talk about fake news in the last episode. We're gonna be
Yeah.
talking about some facts in here, right?
Yes.
And you can fact check this on Facebook. That doesn't have fact checking anymore, of course, after the elections are over, right? So listen, it's a place. Uh, and we're gonna unpack this with some points that we wanted to discuss. We have 5 points that I wanted to discuss. A garage is a place to disconnect from stress. And by the way, when we say a garage, for you it's a garage. I have a garage as well, but I don't. It's not as spacious as yours. It's not even half of yours. So I don't do I don't do many projects. I think that as my motorcycle. Um, I did projects on my motorcycle, and that's fun. And I'm trying to look for other projects, but I think that I'm not gonna tinker with her anymore. For a while, I'm that kind of guy. I'm not the guy that's I'm gonna tinker. The next thing that I'm going to do on my motorcycle, I can do. I just can't do it. Which is a big bore kit. Some engine
Major.
modifications.
That's major surgery.
Major surgery. I'm not gonna do it, but you know, I lights and stuff like that. I enjoy that, but I have a space in this house as well that is not as. I don't have a couch in my garage. I don't have my garage is just to go do work, park the motorcycle and do work on it, and that's it. It's not a place for hanging out. It's not a man cave, but I do have a place for that, and the place for me is my patio, and I enjoy my patio a lot. And I sit in my patio. I read a book. I invite my wife to my party from time to time. I say, hey baby, I brewed some coffee and let's go see in the party, and that is our place to decompress. So when we say a garage, we said that place. Okay, so it's a place to disconnect from stress. So things that help you a lot, disconnecting from the stress. It resets you, right? Like organizing your tools, cleaning your garage. Even if you don't have a project, just going in there and trying to make it better, trying to take pride of it. It disconnects you from the reality a little bit, right? It disconnects you from the problems that you're dealing with at certain time or certain season of life. So, man, I something that my motorcycle did for me and the garage has done for me is that during the pandemic, is when I built a motorcycle. By the way, I mean all that she has right now, the quick detached all that was built. And no, actually, that was built after the pandemic. But we painting the garage, all that happened during the pandemic. Is something that for me was important. Oh, that was the rocking that I did that on, and that I
Yeah.
did a lot of modification on the rocking. Um, so that to me is the place to do that, it removed me from reality and from the actual problems and put me on a place. What do you think about that, bro?
Yeah.
Stress.
And uh, so it's interesting that you say this, right? That you say that your garage was a stress reliever. For some people, it can also, that, and we understand that because you distract yourself from your other situations that you have in life going on. But also sometimes a garage can also cause stress because you take on projects, and now it's like those little memes, right? When you start working on a project and the bike was fine, and now it doesn't want to even start. And that can happen also, right? And that causes major stress when whenever that happens. And I'm probably sure I'm not trying to throw you under the bus about any of your foibles, but it's you have to be prepared, right? Because it can be a stress reliever or it can be a stress inducer causer. But I agree with you 100%. And it doesn't have to be like you mentioned also, your patio. You share that space. If you don't have a garage, if you don't have a patio, you should find an area where you have that opportunity to be able to spend time, a special nook, a special corner within your place. And it doesn't even have to be in your house. If you have a park nearby, I have a little, it's like a little park. Not even a park, it's an area, it's a common area. It has a couple of benches. That could work if you just need to go and just spend some time. Sit down, maybe listen to a podcast, listen to Unfilter Garage. You could watch it on YouTube, on your phone, right? Maybe when you go to take your dogs for a walk, you want to sit down somewhere. Just find an area, find that space, right, where you can disconnect and you can have that time for yourself and kind of like do a reset. Um, that's something that's super important. You do it in your patio, I do it in my garage. But if you don't have any of those at the moment, you know,
So let me tell you something. Well, first and foremost, thank you so much for trying me under the boss. The first time that happened, and it was with the Rocky, and I changed the headlight. I put some LED headlight on that thing, and I blew a fuse, and then she didn't want it to start. I was going through the manual, and she was a police bike, so the fuse box it wasn't even in the place that it was supposed to be. Okay, so it's not my fault. Nobody told me that. The second
exactly.
time, the second time. She was throwing codes like the lotto, and this is the
Yeah,
roguelike. Because I disconnected the tour pack and I made it with disconnect, and nobody told me that I need to reset something. Now she's throwing numbers as like the lottery, Florida
that's
Lotto.
that's those are the
She
caveats of
wouldn't start
YouTube
either.
University, right? Those are the
Yeah, YouTube
caveats of
University is good.
YouTube
I have done
University.
some
It's
damage in
great.
YouTube
It's great.
University.
And
I
Google
I
and
I
all that
I
stuff.
for some reason I thought I was capable enough to rejet a carburetor for the Honda Shadow. And no, that's a
That
not.
yeah,
That requires someone
yeah,
that have done that 10,000 times. Don't do that, guys. That was fun
yeah,
though.
yeah, yeah. I can imagine. I've been blessed. I've been blessed with not having what I've had is just I, what I was saying. I increase my stress levels when I start a project and it kind of doesn't go my way immediately. That can happen
Do you remember when we put
very
the
easily.
radio on the head
Oh,
unit
bro, it
on
was
your bike?
they said it was a 2 hour job and it took us like 4 hours.
We're 5 hours ranging. I was like, what the hell? What
Yeah,
what the hell is it? What,
but
I
but
got extra cables now.
but we had a great time. We had a great time doing it, right? We so you got to take the good with the bad
Yeah,
and
man.
have it
It's honestly, I,
and having a
I
space like this.
yeah, I don't hate that I get on the. My wife she hates that I get on the garage because every time costs her money because it's a wait. So I try, but
Yeah,
it's broken now. I need to get someone professional.
yeah,
So listen, but I was reading to Abner that because you said something, you say a nook, you say a space in your house, you say um something similar to that. What let me tell you what you cannot do and what doesn't induce stress. As a stress reliever, a garage is perfect because changes your mind. Your brain is still working, but it's working in something else.
yeah.
What you cannot do And it's not equivalent to it because a lot of guys are gonna say, "Oh, for me, that's the couch. I just sit on the couch and watch some football, or I
Mm,
just sit on the couch and watch some TV." That
yeah.
doesn't. It's not the same. What that does is that your brain goes dormant, and then you don't you're it's not you're releasing stress. It's that simply you're not thinking. The stress is in there. The all the hormones that are supposed to start interacting, they're not interacting with your body, and you're not releasing stress
Mm,
because you're solving other problems. And stress comes out of your body when you're solving other problems. That's why going to the gym is such a stress reliever, because you need to solve a problem. You're not focusing on what happened yesterday. You're not focusing on what's happening right now. You are focusing on not dying, focus on getting your body to do some work. So that is important that we make that clarification, because people say, "Oh no, I'm a couch potato. I'm a couch
no,
surfer."
that's
Doesn't work like that.
that's exactly what it is. When you veg out, that's not productive.
I
I
haven't
mean,
heard that in a while.
right, and it's I understand because I love watching shows and I have my stories, but I have time for that. It's important that, like you mentioned, it may not seem so, but there's productivity. There's something that's coming out of this actively, and your mind, like you say, is engaged. I I would highly recommend that if you do not work on your bike, if you do not do anything with your bike, if you're one of those guys that says, you know what, I
At
don't
least
know
watch it,
how
right?
to,
Mm-hmm.
well, you can wash it, you can, but there's so many things that you will never know if you can until you try.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And there's a plentiful amount of YouTube channels that will have even ratings. I mean, they have different scales, like it's a 1 beer job, it's a 2 beer job, it's a 3 beer job. And it gives you a gauge of, well, how much do I really have to know? I'm not a hands-on guy, but what can I do? Anybody can screw in something, anybody can use a pliers, can use it. Try it. There's something, there's nothing better than feeling the sense of achievement when
Yeah,
you have completed a task. That's one of
that
the
is
things that I
awesome, bro.
love. When I set my mind out and I say, well, I'm going to do this, and praise God because I do it. And if it gets hard, and if I get stuck or whatever, you can leave it and come back to it. And then you research it so your mind is engaged. So if you haven't done that, my recommendation, try something.
Yeah,
Give it
yeah,
a
yeah.
shot. I
That's awesome.
promise you you won't regret it.
And listen to this. According to Cleveland Clinic, and this is the backing, this is the stats, this is the numbers, and you can fact check this one. According to Cleveland Clinic, 75% of men report that having a hobby or personal space improves their mental health.
Mm.
Because and it's such a big topic. So 75% of men, they have reported that having a hobby improves their mental health. So you don't want that guy crazy at your house. Get in a garage. Let him buy that Mustang. Let him buy that truck. Let him buy that Toyota Tundra. Anna,
Anna, are
just
you
speak.
listening? Anna, are you listening?
Hey,
Please.
she came home today from she was running errands, and she came home today. She said, "Oh, I listened to the podcast. It was awesome. Thank you, baby. You guys did a fantastic job." So us, that's cool. So
Hey.
point number two, hands-on work as therapy. So repetitive task of wrenching, repetitive task of cleaning or washing, scrubbing, whatever is the case, have a soothing and calming effect, bro. And it's amazing because there is, I have a brother. I guess he doesn't do this anymore. DNA. And my brother DNA, he will spend 2 to 3 hours every time. He will put his motorcycle on a lift, and he will take 2 to 3 hours to wash
I
his bike.
remember. I remember he was
Uh,
telling me that. Wow.
it's a Road King, or was a Road King, beautiful motorcycles, similar to what you got in the back with Carlini handlebars, and with the chrome. And
Yeah.
he spent 3 hours doing that, man. Summer, winter, don't matter, don't matter. He will do that, And I was like, man, why would you do something like that? I mean, that's a slaving, and it's not a slaving, bro. It's escaping. Is how he resets for the week. For him was, he will relive the moments of the ride while he was just watching his bike, man. And he doesn't ride. He doesn't go to the local bar. When
Yeah, no, he
he
puts some
rides
miles.
4 5 hours each way, right? So when he rides, he's going out of town most of the time. Those are his rides. So he's reliving the moment. He's like, and it's something that is pretty calming, right? Like wrenching is something that is calming. Eh, Even if you are not alone, if you are with a friend and you guys are brushing together, man, that is awesome. Talk to me about
Yeah,
that, bike.
no, there's so many things that you can do. And to be honest, when you find that particular task that you'll do, you know, you sh- there's a side effect or a result, and is that you start getting better at it, and you start learning, and you start looking into it more. I remember when I was doing my leather work, it was just a skill that I was practicing and practicing and practicing, and
Mm-hmm.
I would come out and just, I want to work on this, I want to try this. Oh, I mastered that. Awesome. And those things can have a byproduct, which is now you never know. You might find yourself in a side hustle because now you can produce something that you may be able to go ahead and parlay into some type of resource or revenue stream, right? So it's hands-on work as a therapy. It'll start as a therapy. It could start as a therapy, but you don't know where that could lead you also. So
Yeah,
why not?
and listen, you have some customers, man. A lot of people compliment the shit that we put together. A lot of
Oh yeah?
people, yeah, yeah, yeah. Some guys from my nation is they want something similar. So, you might get some customers very soon. But you're
Yeah.
absolutely right. That I remember that season for you, and it's pretty awesome that you had that escape, that you have that on your hands. For me, it is a little bit what I call the repetitive work is I don't wash my car for some reason. I just don't like washing my car. Like it's not. But my
I
motorcycle,
noticed that. I've
yeah.
noticed that.
Well, my motorcycle either, but I'm more prone to wash my motorcycle than what it is to wash my car. But when I'm washing my motorcycle, just kind of like just going around her and just kind of noticing things that are loose. You get to notice things that are loose. You get to notice a lot of stuff on her.
Yeah.
Um, it most definitely has a calming effect. And if I'm having a bad day and a really bad day, I'm going to really sit on her and just or try to do a project or to do a project, something that I can put my mind in another place. So
Yeah.
here's the vacuum. You ready? This is
Hit it.
from Harvard University. It says that a study from Harvard University shows that working with your hands, not working on your hands. They're not talking about doing the manicures. Please don't get confused. Don't get it twisted. So not a lot of you guys do that. But working with your hands can reduce the stress hormones by up to 25%. So manual labor, washing the dog, bro. Like I mean, cleaning, cutting the grass, whatever it is. That we are meant to do that. Men are meant to do that. We are meant
Yeah.
to do that. So, I asked for. I remember when we got the garage and when we moved to this house, Father's Day gift was Harbor Freight, and to this day, gift cards. Give me Harbor Freight gift cards, and I'm gonna get some tools. Why do you need so many tools? Because I need the tools. That's it. You know what is funny? We get the tools and then we find the project.
Well,
So
yeah, exactly. Well, you need the tools, right? And
yeah,
when you have it, now you think about, oh, I have this new grinder. I remember that I needed to grind this, right? Because you have the grinder now, you have somewhere to use it. And I think it's important also to mention that, you know, um, you don't have to break the bank to get tools, right? There are plenty of places that you can
give
get
me
tools because
alternative.
a lot of people, well, you just mentioned Harbor Freight. I mean, a lot of people say, well, Harbor Freight, Harbor Freight is fine because you're going to get a tool at a price that is good, you're not breaking the bank, and if it breaks, well, you didn't lose much, right? I've
Mm-hmm.
bought plenty of tools that are kind of like disposable, and that's fine. If you don't have a bunch of money, you could Home Depot, Lowe's, Amazon. I buy a lot of stuff on Amazon, and
Yeah, we noticed.
it's right. So that's an option, right? You don't have to break your budget, and I'm just saying this because you don't want that to be an excuse. Oh, tools. You know what? If you don't have the tools, talk to your friends, talk to your brothers. Hey man, do you have now? Be mindful. A good, a good biker, a good brother will always return tools. Don't be that guy that takes a that is known as don't lend him anything because you'll never get it back. Don't be that guy. But definitely don't let not having tools be a nuisance. Um, and again, I think that you used a great uh idea. Birthdays, give me tools. Christmas, give me tools. Whenever there's a gift opportunity, a gift card
You know
from
where I
Home
see a lot of
Depot.
tools, bro, for free? Not for free, but a really affordable price. What I want now, I want one of those mobile toolbox that has also a workbench on top. Or I think I want to build a workbench. I think that's gonna be my next project. Building a workbench, something that I
Yeah.
can really actually, do whatever the heck I want in there. Um, but Facebook Marketplace,
Yes.
you
That's an
find
excellent. That's an
you find
excellent
tools
source
and listen, good tools, man. Previously loved, but good tools, man. People,
at a budget.
somebody is no longer here. He's no longer among us. And and the wife now she doesn't know what to do with all the tools. And yeah, or like I ran out of space, or I just got the latest and greatest. Man, there's always someone trying to get rid of something that for you it might be valuable, and it's a really easy way to get into it.
100%. They say that one person's trash is another person's treasure.
Treasured, yeah.
And there are plenty of pawn shops, Facebook Market, garage sales.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
That's something that you can, if you wanna get a tool set, and you really don't have money for the snap-ons, hit your local garage sale, your flea markets. That's an option. And then you might even discover a hobby because you have the tool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Absolutely, absolutely.
So,
Yeah, the opportunity to do some. Listen, says that having a garage or just working with your hands and this kind of stuff and having your own space, it can boost your mental focus. It's a distraction-free zone where you can focus on tasks and develop problem-solving skills. And I'm just going to mention yours. I put headphones when I'm on my garage. When I'm working on something, I put headphones. I don't really want to disconnect. I lift the door, the garage door, and I just in there working, but with headphones. You put music. You're blasting music at all. You're blasting your Taylor Swift that you like when you're in there. But increases your focus because you are problem solving, and the problem solving is part of your brain uh, starts working more. So I have
yep,
heard, and this is something that is not it's not in here, but I've heard that um, people when they are fighting, there is dementia in the family or there is Alzheimer in the family. One of the things that they ask males 40 and up is to start working on developing focus and developing memory and memory retention. So whatever it creates memory, whatever is a memory exercise, whatever so solving puzzles, solving that kind of stuff, solving problems, it helps fight those diseases. So that's something that women D. I don't recall exactly, and I'm gonna try to find the reference because it's really important. But what I can tell you is that with so many distractions, dude. I mean, when you're wrenching, you cannot be on your phone, you cannot be on the ground, you cannot be on TikTok, you cannot be on any of that. You cannot be on, you can be on YouTube, but you can be listening to. So it is something that is important, and when we get to certain age, the joke, oh, grandpa is forgetting everything, but grandpa doesn't. Man, it's true. It's true. Our mental focus is not there. It's not all there. So this helps sharpen that a lot.
Yeah.
Um, Talk to me, buddy.
So you're always learning new things when you have to work. I will never forget it. One time I was working on some brakes,
Uh huh.
and the rotor was, I mean, it was welded tight. I mean, it was totally loose, but I couldn't pull it free because it was welded. The rust had gotten to it, and I learned that Coca-Cola is the rust beater. I mean, forget WD-40. I doused
Are,
it in WD-40. It didn't work. And I used Coca-Cola, and I just wrapped a towel in a cup of I dipped it in a cup of Coca-Cola, and I put it around the part, 30 seconds, and I just gave it a tap, and it just fell off. That's something that I learned. I had to look it up, but it was something that I learned. So even though I was, working on something that was totally mechanical, manual, I knew, but I had to learn something new, and I activated my brain, and now I've never forgotten that. So believe me, whenever you're working, you will find yourself in a moment of, let me think about this. How can I resolve this? There's always
uh
something. I can guarantee you. Um, it doesn't matter the task, how menial it is, and how repetitive. You're always going to learn something new. It's good. You're going to stumble, especially the regular Joes like us. We're not full-time mechanics. We're not doing these things every day. I'm not working on my bike every day. I'm not doing any of this every day. And even my very good friend Critter, he does this every day. And one of the things that he does when he's working is that he has the manual, and he will go over each and every step. So he has to take the time to go over each step. The reason why he does that is so that he can make sure, double check, triple check that everything in the procedure that he's done. Because when you're opening a motorcycle to install some cams, you're touching a lot of the internals. You want to make sure that you're not going to have, a problem within a week, and then you have to go back and do it again. So what he does is that he'll go step by step by step by step. That is a process where you go and it's repetitive, but it's taking time. So I agree 100%. It's going to make sure that your mental focus is agile. And the only way that you do that is by practicing, by doing it. So, you know, uh,
let me ask you something.
that's
So
super
so
important.
so you learned that with Coke. Why you keep on drinking Coke?
I don't drink
I was
Coke.
just waiting, bro. I
No,
was
I
waiting
don't.
for that.
I don't drink Coke. I don't drink Coke. I drink Coke Zero, which is good for you.
Oh, healthy. Yes, good for you. Yeah, you're healing. You're healing.
Exactly. I'm taking care. I'm getting everything loose inside. Loosey
There
goosey.
you go. There you go. That's what you're doing. Man, I don't know how it's in
Hit
your
him.
garage. Here, well,
Huh?
here's really cold today. I don't know.
Yeah, it is. It is. It is. It is.
It's
Did
cold
you
today
did
here.
we did we share the fun fact that it says that men who engage in hobbies like mechanics report a 40% increase in cognitive clarity?
That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. And please, guys, this is when you send this to your wife once again. I mean, we're going to make all these little snippets, fun facts, available to you so you can share on TikTok,
Actually,
etc., etc., etc.
actually, you know what? We might want to do a challenge, and have, anybody that's listening, if they want to participate. But I saw something that has me really interested, and it's a small model of a V8, a functional model of a V8, and you
Oh,
have to put it together. It's I mean, it's beautiful. Um, and and
is it a
and I
toy?
wanted to.
Is it something that in Amazon?
Yeah. No, I've seen it on Instagram and whatnot. But Amazon has it, or has one of them, because there are a couple, and I recommend, and I highly
Do they run?
recommend. Yeah, no, they're fully functional. They're fully functional.
How
Everything
much they are?
works. I'm at like $40, $50. They're different prices, man. But I mean, just imagine, nowadays that everybody's going EV and all that stuff. Um, I'm not gonna judge, but
But I'm judging.
um, I'm not gonna judge, but
But
they
you
have this
can,
beautiful V8. It's a beautiful V8 model. Hey man, put one together and
bro.
share some of that.
Here I am
Drop it
trying
in the
to get an
comments.
eight cylinder truck. And everybody on that AV just want the
Yeah,
most obnoxious truck. That's what I want. I want
bro,
I needed one VA and just God give me a diesel, something that when
it's
I
diesel.
when
So you
when
could
I
roll
when I
coal,
hit the gas,
rolling coal, just black.
when I hit the gas, bro, here Tesla have it on your face. Um, so uh, this one is really awesome because working on your garage is part of strengthening your personal identity. Uh, a dedicated space reinforces individuality and provides a sense of ownership, dude. And it's important. I'm going to
Yeah.
speak a lot in here. Um, Tuesday, and I'm going to share this with my wife after this. Tuesday, my garage, I share my garage. My garage is the Christmas palace. That's what it is. I have a lot of Christmas stuff in there.
Mm.
And having a garage, for me, it creates an identity. And the man of the house, man, I don't have boys. I only have two girls. So this is where I go to escape, and this is where I don't want to see them in there. I don't want for this. I don't want to see Christmas decoration. I don't want to see anything that I have nothing to do with me being alpha male or being machismo or anything like that, bro. This is a space for me. It's a space where I need to feel that she owns the rest of the house. That is what I own. That is my space. That's my property.
Uh,
Uh, yeah, we pay for this together, and she can have the rest. I want that. That's what I want,
yeah.
and it gives you that sense of ownership. Um, I believe there is such a thing like at home gentrification for men, where man has been run away from every single space of the house, and we have given away that space. And the Bible says that we shouldn't give room to oppose the words is to oppose. Don't give room to the enemy. Sometimes, and I'm not saying that your wife is the enemy. Well, not all the cases, at least. But when we lose our space, when we lose our room, we lose. We're not losing it to her. We're losing it to the enemy. We need to, spiritually speaking, we need to have our own space. We need to have our place where we can read the Bible. We need to have. I remember since I was a kid, man, and the girls were little kids. They knew that if daddy was in his room or his closet and the door was locked, they could listen, but they cannot walk in there because that is praying, that is having a good time with Jesus, and that is so that is important. And to this day, we still have that. This is my room. This is where I put my stuff. This is even where I put my Bible. Nobody else can put the Bible in there. And my little one just recently started putting the Bible next to me, and I said, "Why do you do that?" That's very oh, because I want to have the same accessibility that you have, and I understand. But having a garage or having a space, your space, give you that sense of identity. That's why we have. Oh, that's Grandpa recliner. That's his recliner. Don't touch it. That's his recliner. That's Grandpa's seat. That's his. Don't touch it. That's his. And it's important. And I know that a lot of the ladies are not going to understand this, but it's for us. It's important. Give us identity. Give us something to grasp. But at the end of the day, we work for that piece. We just work for that piece, right? Um, how do you feel about that, bro?
No, I agree 100% with you, Ozzy. So it's interesting that you mentioned that. Yeah, this is a negotiation that a lot of men they have to this is they have to have the sit down with their wives. When
The
I
moves.
bought this house, or when we bought this house, because we bought it together, of course. one of the things that I said was, you can have the house, the garage is mine. Um, that's my area. Leave, just let me be. And it's a responsibility. It's not just a privilege. We need to understand it's a responsibility. If you are blessed with the opportunity of having a wife that recognizes the importance of you as a man having your space, then do your part also, and make sure that it's well kept, right? It's not don't squander the blessing of having a space that your wife is willing to share with you, right? Because we share the house the same way I share the house with her. We share our, this is a shared asset, so to speak. So she has her place, she has her space, and she can do what she wants. She does what she wants. Better yet, she does what she wants in the house. She does that. And this is my area. But I have a responsibility of having it in a manner that's presentable, so that, whenever she comes in, if she's, needs to find something, it's not a sty. It's not, it's not total a wreck. Just like if you have a special chair in the house, it's yours, but make sure that you're not trashing it, because now it's going to be a nuisance for everybody, right? So, and I just say that because it's interesting that it strengthens your personal identity and gives you ownership. But just like you wouldn't trash your car, I don't know any guy that really likes to trash their car or their bike. Like, they take pride in their bike because, that's what people see, and that's what. So in the same manner, having this area will allow you to really, go all out. And I recommend, if you have that space, take the time, decorate it, make it yours.
Make it yours. Keep
Let
it.
your personality, huh?
Keep it tight. Keep it. Keep
Keep
it.
it tight and make it look nice. I mean, as nice as you. I mean, if you want to have, if you want to go into a motif, this is where we get an opportunity to express who we are. I mean, you can see this here. I mean, it has, a lot of the stuff that I use. I have a space to put my little knickknacks, mementos, um, and then that helps me, because when I go home, and the first thing is that I do, that I open my garage, I come in through the garage, I'm back home. I feel at home, and I feel comfortable, and what a blessing it is. So if you have that opportunity, maximize it. Don't take it
take
for
advantage
granted.
of it. Yeah.
Take
Yeah. Yeah.
advantage
Yeah.
of it.
So listen, says the fact in here says that over 80% of men in 2022 survey said in a 2022 survey said that having a personal retreat boosts their confidence and sense of self-worth.
Yeah,
Having a place where you can disappear during the day, having your own oasis, and we
I
do need
agree with
that.
that. Yeah.
Men, we do that. Okay, so this is directed to men mostly, but I just wish that a lot of the ladies are listening to this too. And this to me, last but not least, is the most important. Uh, Connection through solitude, bro. I love this. This is one of the reasons. Spending time alone allows for self reflection and recentering. You said it, reset it. You said it before. To reset.
Mhm.
And what? And this is a fight that I have with my brothers in the club, because they want for me to get a cardo,
All right.
back talk, a cardo. It's a
Oh,
communicator, it's a
yeah,
unit,
yeah, yeah.
so I can link
Yeah.
with them and whatnot. I get it. I understand I understand the importance of it, because we're growing. When we have 9, 10 motorcycles, it's difficult to manage the ride. It's difficult. And I have a rock captain, but I'm in some opportunities I have to be the rock captain. So it's to sync up during the ride. But I'm not gonna lie to you, dude. I absolutely, and they know this. I love my solitude, and I've been saying this to them, that I love my solitude. And riding, I might be riding next to you, and it's a great experience. But I'm alone at the end of the day. Riding is something that it happens alone. Something that I don't talk to no one. I don't need to listen to podcasts. I listen to music. I just to disconnect. I dance, I jump, I scream, I pray. I do, I lose myself a little bit so I can find myself a little bit, right? So, writing those moments of solitude help me to disconnect from everything so I can be connected to God. And the same happens with when I sit in the patio and I just close the door and I'm just petting Bruno, whatever is the case, and I'm reading a book, having a cup of coffee, whatever is the case. That those moments of solitude help me re-energize. And I listen, doesn't have to be 3 hours, 4 hours, or anything like that. For me, it's a 20 minutes kind of deal, and that helps me a lot. Um, Man, sitting on you mentioned that there is doesn't have to be in your garage. There is a coffee shop around here. It's a Cuban place. It's not a Starbucks or anything like that. It's a Cuban place, and I just sit in there and I have a cup of Cuban coffee, uh, and I just sitting there by myself, dude, and just seeing people passing and people watching the skull. And it's awesome, bro. It's awesome. It's a time that for me is important.
Yeah. It's interesting that, it comes down or boils down from listening to what you're saying. It comes down to being intentional about making sure that you have that time to be alone. When you mentioned the what is it, the cardo?
Cardo.
I've never been able to ride and chit chat with people. I remember I did it once when you helped the sales
Harley
lady
Davidson.
at Harley Davidson to get me into that helmet, which after Daytona I never wore again. I don't even have it. I gave it away.
Thank
Um,
you.
I gave it away. Yeah, I used it. That was $300. Well thrown into the trash.
Yeah,
Um,
who you gave it to?
I gave it to Aaron, Greg's
Son.
son. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I
He's
wasn't.
using it
I
to play
mean,
pickleball.
yeah, he's using it to play pickleball. Exactly. So, um, I've never been able to ride and be chit chatting with anybody. I understand what you when you're where you're coming from in regards to, yeah, no, it helps with safety. But I think that also, and this is just a side note, when you're chit chatting on the radio, I find that it's hard to really concentrate on what's going on
Distracting.
in the road. And being on two wheels, I can listen to music and I can kind of meditate, but you learn how to do this with uh while watching and while looking around, and your eyes are darting around looking at the mirrors, and you're keeping your head on a swivel. But when you get to chit chatting and multiple voices, it's like, for me, that is more of a distraction, which unfortunately can lead to really bad accidents. So that's
Yeah,
just a
that
side note,
experiment that experiment of putting you on a Xena, that was a Xena, or
Yeah, it
what
was a
was it?
Cena. It was a Cena.
It was
It
a
was a
Xena. That
good
experiment of putting you on a Xena lasted a good day.
dude.
Not
Half
not
a
even
day.
the
It's
half a
like
day, not even because the moment that we disconnected, and I'm gonna share this with yeah, I'm not to do with this, but the moment that we disconnected, I was like, what were you guys thinking, bro? Putting me as a road captain of anything. What are you guys thinking?
we
The
learned our
moment that you
lesson. We
guys,
learned our lesson.
no, yeah, bro. Like, I mean, for the love of God, my club learned that lesson really quick. He said, "Oh no, you gonna be that guy."
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So the moment that we disconnected, we're taking 75 north or via I-4. I don't remember a little about. And I was like, man, I kept on riding, and I see this pack behind me riding organized. I said, this is awesome. The riding's so good.
I,
My God. I said, man, this is like 13 guys now. We were just like eight. And that's it. And
we
I
got
look
new
around.
people.
This is not my pack. And they passed me by, bro, like there's no tomorrow. And it was a Diamond Club on their way to Daytona. It was the Diamond Club on their way to Daytona. I said, whoa, this is not my pack. And I get a phone call. Hey, I left you guys 2 miles away.
Yeah,
I kept
but
on
you
going.
remember what? Do you remember what happened though?
Yeah, Alan
That
Mengue
was when
happened.
Alan and his
Alan, yeah,
magic
Bam Bam happened.
saddlebags
Bam
leaving
Bam
leave.
happened.
Yeah,
It's always Bam Bam. Like losing the hat. That guy has it,
losing a
but
hat,
whenever he
losing
goes to buy hats,
jackets. Yeah,
jackets, Bam Bam happened.
it's
He's all
it's a tradition. Every time he goes on a ride, he's got to lose something.
something. He's part of it. Like
Yeah,
everybody needs a Bam Bam in the
yeah,
organization, bro.
yeah.
To
So,
boost the economy of the Harley Davidson dealers buying hats and
uh,
buying crap.
so going back, circling back to what you were saying about spending that time reflecting and self-reflection, recentering, getting that reset, hitting that reset button. Super super important that we understand that you have to be intentional about it. Just getting into a garage doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be able to accomplish that. It doesn't happen automatically. You have to take the time. You have to try to, this is my moment. This is because you can get
Mm-hmm.
distracted to the point
Mm-hmm.
where your distraction takes away from the opportunity. It's a
Mm-hmm.
blessing to be able to be alone, right? But our time is fleeting. In a couple of minutes, my wife is going to tell me, "Hey, I need you to go to the supermarket. I need to do something." And if I got caught dilly dallying, and I didn't make use of that time, I shortchanged myself in that sense. So be intentional about it. I love that you go to that coffee place. You don't want the coffee, but I'm sure that you're thinking, I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna make sure that I take a minute to just reset, and that you don't necessarily maybe go, you know, to dig into Instagram or to TikTok or to
No, no, no. I got to
because
read.
those are
To me,
distractions, right?
yeah, reading helps me focus a lot.
Yeah,
And it's important. And the fun fact here is Mark 135, 135. And we're gonna read it in a little bit longer. But I'm so glad that you mentioned that intentionality, and you mentioned that it's not going to happen automatically. Similar
yeah,
than when we fast, when we declare a fast for the Lord, one. If you're expecting for God to speak to you the moment that that you're fasting, I'm fasting this right now, and God come and speak to me. That doesn't happen. But you are putting yourself in that position where God can talk to you.
yeah,
Going into your sanctuary, going into your sacred place, going into your place, and putting yourself in that position allows that intentionality that you mentioned, allows for God to say,
yeah,
you know what, he's attentive, he's expectant, he's waiting for something, he wants to talk to me. And when you are in that position, God talks to you. So for us, for Christian men, not only for mental health purposes, but for our spiritual purpose, this is important. Having a garage, having a place that you can come your own, having a place where you can disappear, having a place where you can tool around, having a place where you can uh, be a man. Honestly, this is find your identity as a man. This is, and please do understand. I'm not trying to be machista or anything like that. I'm not trying to be el macho or anything like that. It's just important for us to get our hands dirty from time to time, dude. Like, I mean, we spoke about this last season. The sissification of men in America, or in the world, is incredible, and we just don't want to, because that's beneath me. I have people that do that for me. No, dude, it is beautiful. It gives you a sense of accomplishment, a sense of worth. It gives you a sense of um, a lot of things, man, and put you in a position. This is why this one I like the most. This point about the solitude, because put you in a position where God wants to talk to you.
amen, amen. No, I agree with you, and actually, and I would like to also mention the following. We talked about this in one of our previous episodes about the importance of prayer, and if you don't know how to pray, and you can also just the same way that you talk to yourself when you're doing things
Mm-hmm.
and you're having a conversation. If you're wrenching, nobody's around you, and you feel like that's a great moment. That is actually a
Oh
great moment
yes, that's a
to
beautiful
be able to
moment.
talk to God, because you're doing something right. But you can also take that moment and just say, you know what, God, I was thinking, and then just go into it. Nobody's going to be paying attention. Nobody's listening. But I promise you that pretty soon you'll find that, you're talking to God, and that's what prayer is all about. That's what prayer is. If, there's it's not a science. And that's a great opportunity when you're alone and you're doing something, and you have that, because, and I love the fact that when we are fixing things, that's a great way to think about, um, God's relationship with us, right? When we're fixing something, we need to tighten it up. Sometimes we need for God to tighten us up, to give us a little bit of torque here, to give us a little squeeze over here, and adjustments, right? So that's a great opportunity, and it's a great moment when you're working on something, when you're putting your hands, on a project, to get into contact with our Father.
So sounds awesome, dude. Mark Wanter says, I'm gonna read this. Very early in the morning, while it was while it was still dark, Jesus got up, left the house, and went off to a solitary place where he prayed. And it's just going to that solitary place so you can have listen, this is what you're saying. Going to a place, a solitary place where you can pray, where you can just talk to him, where you can just talk to yourself, man. Um, it surprises me how many people don't have conversations with themselves. That's crazy. Yesterday we were at a place and somebody said, that's how you do this. That's how you make decisions to talk to yourself. And he was making fun of the fact that you were talking to yourself because it has been, it's a stereotype of someone that is crazy, that is cuckoo loco, when you're talking to yourself. If you don't talk to yourself, you're really crazy. If you don't have conversation with yourself, you're really crazy. I mean, talking to yourself, looking yourself in the mirror, like having it's important, dude. It's extremely important. It's something that we need. And this sanctuary, that's why we named the episode "Garage" as a sanctuary. It's important for us to have it. It's extremely important for us to have it. I'm there. Conclude us, bro.
I'm looking for something real quick, because we don't have we need to get a producer here. Um,
Oh,
yeah, yeah. So talking to yourselves, actually, you know what? Um, I'm just so that we're not talking. This is straight out of uh the book of Google. It's just a couple things about talking to yourself, thinking through your ideas, motivating yourself, processing emotions, and improving performance. Those are some of the things that you get out of talking, um, to yourself. How much more talking to our Father, who listens and knows us the best. So, yeah, um, keep this in mind, fam. A garage doesn't necessarily have to be just for storage. It doesn't have to be just where you put your car. It can be, a workspace. It could be a place for spiritual retreat, a place where you can reset, where you can spend time with your buddies. I love, I really miss the opportunities that, to get my fellows into my garage, and we'll just have, we'll put out the grill, and we'll throw a couple of dogs on there and some hamburgers. It's a party, man.
let's make it
It's
happen, bro. Let's make a
Yeah,
garage day happen, bro. Let's make a
yeah, for
garage day
sure, for
happen.
sure.
Invite some people,
You
bro.
know
I'll
that.
come over. Like I
Let's
don't
do
have
that.
much to wrench on, but
Let's do that, Matt. You
let's
know
do
what?
one, and we record and we put it on
Yeah,
TikTok, and we do a
you
live
know
so people can see
that'd be awesome.
how
You
it
know
runs.
what? Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's be intentional about it. Let's just not talk about it, because those are the things that happens in your
Yeah,
areas. I get to
yeah,
have
yeah,
that,
yeah.
right? So if you feel that you're bogged down by, and I was listening to something the other day, and it says that the majority of people, especially women, don't know how many things men have on their minds at any given time. um, we may seem deep in thought, or they might think that we're distracted, but we
Mm-hmm.
have, as men, we have a lot of things on our minds. We have, the concerns about financials. we have health concerns, or
Yep.
we're concerned about our our families, all those things. And men, we're not chatterboxes. We internalize, we compartmentalize very differently, right? And those are the things that we need to work out in our area, in our space. So if you don't have a place, find one. If you have one, get it ready, prepare it. Take the time, put the work in, make it yours. If you have a lot of stuff in your garage, make that as a project. Baby, I'm gonna reorganize. I'm gonna make sure that whatever we're keeping, it's because we're gonna keep. Whatever it's gonna go, I need my space. I need to work on that. You're not gonna regret it. You're gonna enjoy it, and you're gonna be able to maybe share it with your friends. And if she behaves, maybe your wife. I don't,
We, we don't know. We don't know. We
don't
don't make
believe
no
that.
promises. Well, there you have it, fam.
There
This
you go.
is the episode for today. It was please share this, man. If you like this content, let us know. Just put it in YouTube. Make some comments, whatever is the case, guys. Let us know. We are building
Tag
this, and
us in
we're
your pictures. Tag us in your
yeah.
garage pictures
Oh, there
on
you go.
Instagram.
That's a good
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Tag us in your
Tag us.
garage.
Tag us. Unfiltered Garage. Boom. Tag it.
There you
Let
go.
us
There
know.
you go. Thank you,
Be
guys.
boastful about it. Yeah.
Thank you, Abner.
Peace
Later,
out.
man. Bye.